So, we're about to perform emergency surgery on a hydroponic tomato plant. I was a little neglectful and needed to get to this a week ago. So now we have to take care of it. So I'm going to do a little voiceover at this point because in the background I'm listening to a press conference. As you're about to see, I'm going to pull this out of the container. And the roots had gotten all the way over to the little air pump. And luckily there's that little white barrier there that kept most of it from trying to get in there and get stuck. So now what I'm about to do here is I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes pulling that free from the, I don't know, you want to call that the plate. And I'm going to work on teasing the roots out of the little plastic holder, and I'm also going to chop, well, you should only chop about a third of the roots off if you're going to transplant it, or if it's something that you're going to leave in a hydroponics tank. But I think I'm going to go a little bit over that here. Yeah, let's get that back in place. Why not? Let's worry about that instead of what we're supposed to be doing. This was the little hydroponics tank that I had bought at the local thrift store for $4. I've got another video coming up where we found one on spring cleanup junking, because my wife and I like to do that a couple times a year when we have that. But it's the 6-pod. Well, anyway, so it's a pretty good looking plant, and you can see that the roots are really good and healthy. And you're going to see here in a second that this isn't very easy to try to get that tube off there. So I'm going to end up worrying about the roots first, and then I'll spend a few minutes trying to tease back the little cylinder that holds that into the plate. I don't know if that actually has a proper name or not. I guess he gave a little bit too much of a haircut, but as of me recording this voiceover, my wife said that the tomato plant was still looking good, and I transplanted it in the soil. And I may or may not have a picture at the end of this of that tomato plant. I don't think I do, though. We'll have to go back and look. Yeah, now these roots here are fairly tangled up in there. So if you're going to use scissors or some sort of a cutting utensil, you definitely want to make sure that they're sterile and clean, and you wash those in between anytime you do like one plant versus another, just in case there was something that was on the plant that's going to spread disease to the other ones, because that would really suck, right? To lose all your hard work of kind of looks, what is that pasta, that hair pasta? That's kind of what that looks like. I'm sure the worms will enjoy that in the compost bin when it made it there the next morning. Now those clippers that you see on my little cookie sheet there, I just picked those up at the Dollar Tree store. Yeah, I yanked away at that. Oops. But I just picked those up at the Dollar Tree store the other day, and we try to do that. We'll pick up a couple new pairs every year and keep them around. They're handy for a couple of seasons. Then they kind of go to crap. But what do you get for $1.25, right? Now I'm about to start clipping away here in a minute at some of the stems or stalks, where you want to call them, coming off the side of the plant, because later on when it goes outside, I typically will grow the main stalk up to about 1.5 feet to where it gets onto our cow panel trestle, and then I'll let it kind of sprout out and get a couple of more stalks growing off. I'm also going to pick off the suckers off of here, and I have those sitting right now in the back of our fish tank to see if they're going to get any roots on them or not. If they do, then I'll transplant those over to cups and then give those away to some family or friends, whoever needs more tomato plants. We got a lot of tomato plants growing this year, but we're only going to do 3 of these beefsteaks. And I wonder what I was trying to think there when I showed that. But anyway, we're only doing 3 beefsteak tomato plants this year, and we're doing about our usual amount of Roma tomatoes. because the wife always likes to make salsa for us. That seems to be one of those popular things from friends and family. Like, oh, hey, can I get that, for my Christmas or my birthday? So we'll do that. She cleaned up pretty nice, and we'll go get a pot from downstairs. And where am I going next? Yep, there I am, the pot. So now I've made sure to put plenty of holes at the bottom of these Dollar Tree pots, and typically we will mix up perlite and either mealworm castings and our potting mix. I put a little bit down there so I can protect the bottom of the roots, but I'm going to slide it in on the side, and then I'm going to fill around it and get it good and centered. Then we'll pack it in real good and water it. If she don't die on me in the next week or two before I get a chance to get it outside, I'm thinking that'll definitely be our plant. So hopefully she'll already be touching the trestle, so I can go ahead and kind of wire it up there and let it get going. I don't know if you're supposed to have a whole lot of pausing when you're doing voiceovers, but I guess I could have gone back and done some editing into this, but not one of these YouTube experts here. There we go. So now, something I'm going to point out here in a minute. You're going to see me move my, water, and more water when you do this transplanting. Something you want to keep in mind is after you've come out of the hydroponics like that, is you're going to want to keep your soil fairly moist for the first week or so.